Tucker Carlson was on the other night. He said, in his opinion, there's no such thing as hate speech in America. How do you stand on that?
I believe in hate speech. When you have hate for somebody, I am 100% into hate speech, because it's freedom of speech. You can speak.
So if you hate someone, you should be able to just say it.
Yeah, I believe it.
Please tell me I'm not the only one who didn't quite understand what she was saying at first. I legitimately thought she was just disagreeing with Tucker Carlson and saying, no, I believe hate speech exists. But no, she's pro-hate. Not only does she believe it exists, but she is pro-hate speech. The opinion here is, if I hate someone because of their race, I should be able to call them a slur. It's freedom of speech. I'm sorry. Basic respect for other human beings who?
And so you think it exists?
Yep, 100%.
Freedom of speech is freedom of speech, no matter what the speech is. It sounds terrible. I mean, you might want to cover your kids' ears, but it's still freedom of speech.
I don't believe there's anything as hate speech. It's all under interpretation. You know, people interpret how they want, and they can interpret whatever they want. So they can change anything to hate speech. You know, if I say I want to step on a grasshopper, it can be considered hate speech. It all depends on the person. And I believe we should have the freedom to say whatever we want. If we hurt somebody's feelings, oh well, sticks and stones may break my bones, but, you know, words will never hurt me.
That is so reductive. And it's not like we're out here calling people butthead or booger face. It's not like, playground, you're a jerk, oh no, he called me a name. That's not what we're talking about. We are talking about language specifically designed to target one, usually oppressed demographic and cause harm. Calling someone the N-word doesn't just hurt their feelings, it perpetuates racism and causes further problems down the line, bigger problems than that down the line. And it's not up to interpretation, it's pretty clearly defined. Hate speech is pretty clearly defined.
I think there's free speech. I think hate speech is just a term they dreamed up to keep other people from talking.
We're losing it. You know, everyone knows we're losing it.
In what way? Can you define that, the losing it part?
I mean, we have documentation on lying, cheating, stealing, molesting China Joe's son's laptop, right? The stripper humper. I don't know if I can say stripper humper, but I mean, it's on his laptop, right? Paybacks for the big guy.
This is MAGA brain rot on full display. We're losing it. Who? America. Based on what? Lying, cheating, molesting China Joe's son's laptop. The amount of weight that these MAGA people put on the laptop of the son of a president, a man who has never held public office, never run for public office, has nothing to do with presidency or our government. He's just a troubled son of a president, which is nothing new. Somehow, here's the point. You're about to see this woman go on and say things that are worse and crazier and crazier as the video goes along. Just wait for it. Each clip will be crazy and then not as crazy as the one that will come right after it. Like, how about this?
Well, they had to change the definition of vaccine to pretend it was a vaccine. It's not a vaccine in any traditional sense.
So all the work that Trump did and his administration did to get those vaccines out, you think was in vain?
The work preceded Trump.
Well, no, but he was. I'm talking about getting the vaccines. That was
right.
He said we will get a vaccine.
When you're manufacturing a virus in a lab, you have a front row seat to manufacture the vaccine, don't you? I mean,
you're not. Let me just go. You're not saying that Trump manufactured the vaccine.
No, I'm saying Fauci when.
Well, I'm saying, I'm unable to say a sentence that makes Trump look bad, even though clearly you just did make me get into a corner where that would be the logical thing to say, because Trump definitely took credit many, many times for developing the vaccines and created Operation Warp Speed and is responsible for the vaccines. Many consider that one of the few good things he did, but if it was manufactured in a lab and the vaccine was created in that lab and Trump was in on all of that, you wouldn't be supporting him. So, Fauci, it gets worse.
If he were to lose again, what would that mean for the country, in your opinion?
You mean if President Trump was to lose for the first time? He's never lost a presidential election. Well, yeah, he had a historic turnout. 81 million people have never turned out for a presidential election.
Please. Can we stop? I mean, obviously that's what she believes, of course, but evidence these people use is just fully mindless. 81 million people have never turned out for presidential election. Having high turnout does not prove your guy won. It was record high turnout also for the other guy, and record high voting for the other guy by many millions more than your guy. Do you know, I know math isn't your strong suit or logical thinking, but basic numbers, this many apples in a bunch, and this many more apples in a bunch, that bunch is bigger. Can we do that level of math? It gets worse.
But Trump still got the most votes of all time. That vegetable that was installed in the White House to be Barack Obama's third term can't fill a parking. Look at these people. That vegetable can't fill a Walmart parking lot.
Just going back to that question.
Yep, that's what definitely determines who the legitimate president of a country is who can get a bunch of crazy idiots to show up for an event that's a circus-type carnival barker experience from a man who's so treasonous that he goes on a tour and repeats the treason over and over again, which will end him up in jail.